I was kind of bummed about Mystic Pizza. I wanted the pizza to be more magical.
Welcome to the Coven Slumber Party with Ray of 5x5 and Sarah of Calling Corners, where we break down and geek out over witchy, magical, and mystical media from the 80s, 90s, and more, and try and fill the video store-shaped holes in our hearts. So how have you been?
I've just been I'm trying to get a bunch of stuff ready for Halloween, so that's been pretty cool.
That must be really fun, though.
Yeah, so much brainstorming. I got a plan.
That's so exciting.
It's gonna be pretty cool.
I can't wait to see it. That's gonna be so dope, I think.
Yeah, I'm pretty pumped. Yeah. So it's I just watch movies and just make stuff to make me happy.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, you make stuff that makes me happy too, so I'm happy about that.
Cool.
Every time I see your stuff online, because you've been posting, I feel a little more lately, and
yeah.
And every time I see it, I'm just like, oh, this gives me the same tingles that Turo Home Video gives me, and I'm just so happy.
That's so nice. I actually I wrote in multiple places, and I got all my notebooks together, and I have 14 notebooks at a time.
Oh yeah, I
was trying to compile them, and in all of them it was True Home Video and Video Difference. That's all I wrote, and I was like, okay, I guess I have to do something with that,
because that stuff needs to come back.
I know.
And I think of anything, Teen Witch is a prime example why we miss video stores.
Yes,
it took us okay, I guess you can watch it on Amazon Prime if you have that with HBO mixed in. I don't know how all that stuff works, so yeah. We bought it online and shared it.
Yeah.
It'd be great if we could have just went down the road and rented it.
I just miss going and just I always rented something, but even if I didn't, I'd go and spend an hour.
Oh yeah. Same.
And you find weird stuff. You would have found Teen Witch and been like, what?
I know. Yeah.
And been totally. All right, sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And we always found the greatest movies that way. I can remember finding Welcome Home, Roxy Carmichael. Do you remember that one?
No.
It was so good. I'm trying to think. It's starring somebody really famous.
Oh, Winona Ryder. Jeff Daniels.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I feel I had the same thing with Hedwig and the Angry Inch. It was just a rando rental, and then it was whoa, my life is never going to be the same.
Yeah, life-changing rental.
Yeah. It's nice. And it doesn't have the same, I don't know, even if you rent a movie that you get it home and it turns out to be trash, you still watch it because you're I rented this. I spent money and time, and it's so you commit to it, and then maybe there's a small chance the movie will turn around and you'll like it. But when it comes to streaming stuff, if you don't like it within 10 seconds, you're whatever, there's a billion other things to watch. I don't care.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't have the same impact.
No, it doesn't. I can remember renting shitty movies, and even that is good memories, and there's ritual in it, because I remember renting something with my Dan, who used to work at Turo Home Video. We rented something, and we're oh, it's a good movie, we'll get the poster too, because remember they used to have those dollar posters too.
Oh yeah.
So we rented this movie, bought the poster, and the movie was trash, because all I remember is Michael Pitt was in it, and I should have friggin' known, because I don't anything Michael Pitt is in I don't like anyway.
Whoops.
Yeah, I know. It's a hot take, but yeah, and so after we're that was garbage, and then we're made a ritual out of ripping up the poster, you know what I mean? It was a good friend memory.
Oh, that's so nice.
Yeah. Oh, one thing I did want to talk to you about, because I thought it'd be cool just to add, because I noticed where I said I saw you were posting a little bit more on your socials. I love these fun facts that you're doing with the old movies. I really enjoy them. So I wanted to know what got you started doing that, and how you pick your fun facts, and the most what the fun fact that you've seen so far.
I actually did it for a hot second, maybe 4 years ago. I did 2 of them. And I was that's a great idea. And most things, I'm that's great. Oh, I did it. Cool. And then I just stopped doing it. So I wanted to do it again, because I did, one of the old ones I posted was that Howie Mandel was the voice of, little Mogwai.
Oh, Gizmo?
Gizmo. Yeah, he voiced Gizmo. And when I put it out, people were like, "Are you kidding me?" And I was like, "Yeah, I know. Movies are weird." So I like just was trying to get posting again more. I'm not very good at like sharing a lot or like, and I'm bad at like trying to promote products, which is not a good way to run a business. But whatever.
I
I was
understand that
like,
it's kind of uncomfortable
yeah,
sometimes. Yeah.
no matter what I post, like in some way, I'm like, hey, give me your money, you know?
Yeah.
It's weird. But that's why I was like, oh, film facts are great. It's relevant to what I do. And for the most part, I'm only going to pick hilarious things. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's so cool.
But that penis, that giraffe stepping on its penis was, I think, the one that I was like, what? The most about. Because I was like, what? How does that even happen? And what?
Yeah. So anyone who's listening, if you're totally lost here, Ray does some awesome posts at the 5x5 Instagram and Facebook, I guess is where you post them.
Yeah.
Really fun, really WTF sometimes. Fun movie facts.
So good.
They're amazing.
They make me very happy.
Yeah, it's cool. I like seeing them pop up in my feed.
Oh, well, that's good. Then yeah, that's gonna motivate me to keep doing it because I am a loser and usually stop after 2 or 3 things. I'm like, yeah, I did that. No.
I know. I'm like that too. It's like I want to check stuff off my list. I hate I struggle a lot with stuff that's ongoing.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's why I've been doing batches of stuff. So it's actually really dope because I just sit down on the weekend and drink an unhealthy amount of coffee and just like look for film facts
Amazing.
for like a day. I'm like, cool, I'm working.
Yeah.
So it's pretty good. And then I just do them in batches. I get them all done up and then I have a month or so and I'll just like, done.
Amazing. Nice. And I love them because they look like posters that you would, the aesthetic is like a poster you'd see at like a video store. It's awesome.
Oh, thanks. I designed it. Thanks.
I thought you might have. It's your
Yeah.
taste and I love it. If we haven't made it clear enough already, we're talking about 1989 teen fantasy comedy romance, Teen Witch.
I'm going to just slide in here for a second and say, musical question mark?
Yes. I have that in my notes. It's like, was this supposed to be a musical? And they forgot, like, before they stopped.
Yeah, like, they would remember partway through and be like, yeah, let's do a cheer number. Whatever.
Yeah.
It was, yeah, question mark.
I agree with you. Musical question mark. And I think that it didn't even really know.
No.
It's like it wanted to be, but it thought it wouldn't be cool. I don't know.
I feel like this is like, it didn't know what it was doing is like a pretty good way. It's like, was it an after school special? Because it had that vibe, but then it also taught you absolutely nothing. You know? Like it set it up to be like, we're going to teach you some things about being a good human, but psych.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I will say that about it, too, is it was interesting that it almost set up all these like things that were almost like on the cusp of being super deep and then it would like scale back.
Yeah.
So I felt
just forget that they were doing it and then be like, let's put a musical number in here. What were we doing again?
Right. Oh my gosh. Totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah. I have to say, I never watched this movie until now.
Yeah. Same.
Okay. Yeah.
And I actually was going to bring that up because I know, because you and I talk about a lot in our podcast that the magic of watching stuff in the right era and when it came out and being the right age for it. And so it was interesting because like this is the first time I think we've stepped out of that.
Yeah, totally. Like I've watched all the other movies we talked about multiple times throughout my entire life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same.
But watching this, I was trying to think what would have 12-year-old me thought of it. I was having like a hard time. I was like, I don't know if I would have thought it was amazing and would have wanted to like dye my hair red and wear those dumb skirts with the denim triangle and multiple layers. Like they're hideous. I don't know if I would have been that girl or if I would have just completely been too creeped out by the weird sexy scenes and been like, oh, I feel uncomfortable and just like shut off.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It gets weird.
It does get weird. It does
Yeah.
get, yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
The one scene in particular when they're up in that, like, area, that weird abandoned house, I was just like, this is off-putting. I think it's supposed to seem magical.
I know, it made me feel so uncomfortable.
Same.
But here's the thing. I watched it once and I didn't take any notes. I made popcorn and I was like, I'm going to watch it. And I took it in. Then I watched it again and made notes. And I was like, wait, what? Because that scene in particular, it comes out of nowhere. Like, he just, like, she's popular and then he's like, hey, let's go snog in this mansion that is abandoned.
Yeah.
Like, it happens out of nowhere. He's not like, hey, I'm
pretty
you,
sure he's
or...
still dating Randa.
Yeah! And also, Rando. What even name is that?
I know.
What? Anyway, yeah, all of that was like, it was, upon second watching, I was like, this isn't sitting well with me.
No.
Anyway.
I hear you. Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Do you want to explain this film or no?
I don't even know, because it's a musical, I guess. What does IMDb have to say about it? High school misfit Louise, at a loss for romance, discovers magical abilities, but the teenage witch finds that she cannot conjure herself true love. So what?
That is
little
sense.
Is IMDb. Yeah, I know. That's what IMDb has to say.
Okay, so if you haven't seen the film, it's a 1980s. It's a classic, really. So we have Louise Miller, played by Robin Lively, who is Blake Lively's older sister. Crazy, eh?
What? Seriously?
I'm not kidding. She's Blake Lively's older sister. And actually, she, in an interview, was talking about how Blake is a huge fan of Teen Witch. And at her wedding to Ryan Reynolds, she performed the final number in Teen Witch. I forget what it's called, but where she goes to the prom and has a necklace and throws it off. She did that whole thing.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah, so it stars Robin Lively as the nerdy Louise Miller, who is pining for the hunky football star Brad.
Oh, Brad.
And discovers she's a witch, and her powers activate on her 16th birthday. She's mentored by a seasoned witch and palm reader, Madame Serena, played by the awesome Zelda Rubinstein, where she learns to harness her powers for super important things like becoming the most popular girl. And we go from there. Okay, before we get talking about this movie, I have to ask you, the girl who plays Kiki, did you think the whole time she was Phoebe Cates? Is that her name, Phoebe Cates?
Yeah.
Gremlins. I was like, is this Phoebe?
Look.
Yeah, they looked identical.
Yes.
I thought it was her, and then it was not her.
I'm gonna be honest, I've been like having a hard time figuring out what and how to even talk about this movie.
Oh yeah, okay. I kind of, you know what, I gotta say, so I watched this movie twice too. Mm-hmm. Kind of like you. The first time I was like, okay, well, let's try and get myself in the headspace of being like a teen, or at least being back in the 80s, you know?
Yeah.
And I thought that too when I first watched it. I was like, what do we even talk about? I mean, it's cool. I liked it for sure. But what do you say about it, you know?
Yeah, like I had only ever seen the Top That clip.
Yeah.
And I watched it many, many a times. But like that's all I knew. So in the opening, it's like a sharp fucking right turn. Where she's just spinning on a roof in a city and has a scarf.
Yeah.
It like gave me very much Red Shoe Diary vibes.
Oh
and I was
my
like,
god,
what
me
is
too.
that?
I thought Red Shoe Diaries when I watched it.
Shut up, seriously?
Yeah, seriously. I was just like, this is bringing me back to like Showcase, like 12 a.m. As like a 12-year-old.
Oh my god, yes.
Yeah.
The cutest David Duchovny.
Anyway. I forgot. Yes.
And his dog.
His second best work.
Yeah. Shit. But yeah, it really confused me. Yeah. Even though I knew, I was like, this is obviously a dream sequence and she's going to wake up and she's going to be the uncool nerd. Tonally, I was so confused.
It was the weirdest tone. And I actually think I saw somewhere when I was doing the research that was one of the things that was added in later, the opening scene. Like it was it was a reshoot that they added in months later.
Okay. Well, this will be a great place for me to ask one of my first questions. Because I have a list.
Amazing.
Is that Brad?
In the
Because,
opening?
yeah, because I watched it and I was like, who's it? The first time I was like, who's this guy? And I was like, oh, maybe your crush. And I like didn't think about it again. But after I watched it the first time and I knew who Brad was, I watched it again and I was like, I don't think that, is that Brad? Or is it a dude that looks like Brad?
Okay, here's my theories. Because I didn't notice that, but of course I have theories.
Okay.
So one, it's not Brad, because if it was shot months later, maybe he had a conflict, like a professional conflict, like where he couldn't make it to a reshoot.
Yeah.
Or two, it's like that weird Kiki Phoebe Cates thing.
That totally could be a thing, though.
Right.
Because I feel like there were a couple of times where I was like, is this just a hunky dude or is it Brad?
Yeah.
Or I don't know.
I don't know
like,
either.
Hunky dude that clearly is not 18. Like, clearly.
Yeah. Gotta love when they get the, like, adult actors to play high school kids.
He was 26.
Did you look that up? Was he 26?
Yeah, he was 26. I love that, though, that for a good part of the 80s and 90s, they were like, how old are you? Oh, you're 28? Yeah, that's fine. It's like, wait, what? And I know, like, if I watched it when I was younger, I'd be way more lenient and be like, oh, whatever, like, bleh. Mm-hmm. Watching it when I'm 34 for the first time, I'm like, huh. Huh.
Yeah.
I don't know. I did still like it.
I still liked it quite a lot myself.
Yeah.
So I appreciate that. But I think this is an interesting side of the coin we're on. We never find ourselves here.
I know.
It feels weird and uncomfortable.
I know. So I just did a lot of like looking at stuff, trying to break it down, and I was like, I guess this makes me feel comfortable.
Right. Yeah.
With the film now.
Yeah. I know. I hear you there. But I guess we're not alone in that, because this movie made less than $4,000 opening weekend.
Okay. I looked at like stats on IMDb and I was like, that can't be right. You know, maybe they're just writing that. It's really million, but they just like, no. It really is $4,000.
Opening weekend, yeah. I don't even think that it grossed $30,000.
It was like 28. I looked at it and I was like, these numbers can't be right. It was like 28 and change.
Yeah, which is amazing.
That's sad. Oh man.
But
okay.
It's definitely found a cult following, I think. Maybe thanks to Disney, because apparently it was on rotation there for many years, like all the time. Even more than the Top That scene, I gotta say, the We Like Boys or I Like Boys song, I was like, what am I watching right now?
Yeah, also
not expecting it.
Not at all, because nothing else in the movie indicated it would go in that direction at all in any way. Oh, I guess I think what were they called? The dudes or whatever. Oh yeah. What was their name again?
Well, Andy Samberg
Duditude, I guess, kind of gave some idea that it might go in a musical direction, but it really went there. Yeah. And also, was it actually common to have the uniform for gym class to be a bodysuit? With like the highest like sides?
It was an interesting choice. But you know what? It's a very 80s choice. It's like, let's have this bodysuit be the school uniform for gym. I don't know. So weird.
Oh, and let's make it lavender, because the school's colors are lavender. Like, what?
Oh my god. No, okay, so if you haven't seen the movie, there's there's actually a few, I think, locker room scenes. There's a lot that takes place in the locker room, oddly.
This one lasts a long time.
And there's a musical number to a song where the cheerleader... Okay, first of all, also, Kiki runs in and says, "Hey, cheerleaders, I have our new cheer." That they automatically all already know the dance to. And also, why does she say, hey, cheerleaders? That is so odd and not how you would naturally say that. That'd be like me walking, like, if we were hanging out in a group of friends and I walked in and was just like, hey, gang. Like, it's just a, you know?
Archie comic? Come on, get out of here.
It was just so weird. It threw me off so much.
And the song is so weird. Because they're like, we're getting rid of crayons in our doll houses. I like boys.
I know, it was so awkwardly hetero. It kind of was just gross and weird.
That's true.
I don't know.
I didn't know. At first, I was like, yeah, okay. I'm into movies that make no sense. Mm-hmm. Sure. I'll ride this wave. Like you said, they all knew very intricate dance moves out of nowhere to a song that I'm pretty sure was just made up for the movie. You know, like none of it makes sense, but they are delivering dance moves.
Yeah.
For about longer than they should, for like a minute, they're delivering dance moves, and then it deteriorates into like some slapstick Benny Hill shit where they're like using towels to make it look like they're 10 feet tall, pulling sleeves on sweaters to stretch a girl, and she's like, ah!
Yes.
It's like, what is happening?
And it's so weird. I feel like the only reason we're lingering there is because our main character, Louise, is watching it in a very odd way. She's like leaning over into like lockers to catch the dance, and I'm just like, what is happening?
Let's be honest, she's a creep through most of this movie. She is. She's creeping on the girls. Like, I think they show her creeping like
they
3
totally
times,
show her creeping,
being like, yeah. Oh, you're still doing it? Whoa, zany. And then, after the school day is done, she just, in a dark tunnel, like a little troll, watching Brad get sweaty. And, like, the montage of Brad at that point is hilarious. Because he's, like, throws 2 footballs, takes off his crop top, throws maybe another one, and then she's, like, just staring half in dark at him. And then he's doing push-ups. And then it shows Louise. And then it goes back. And he's doing sit-ups. And then Louise. And he's like, wait, what?
Is somebody watching me?
Yeah. And she doesn't even try to be like, oh, hey, like, I'm just walking by. She just, like,
goes back into the shadow.
Disappears into the darkness after she wrote a sexy poem about his lips being all over her body. Like, she makes bad choices in this movie.
Okay, yes.
I don't have sympathy for her.
No, I don't either. And I'm glad you said she makes bad choices in the movie, because one of my notes was, Louise is literally the worst.
Thank you. Yes, she is.
She's superficial, which, okay, granted, I guess we all are when we're younger, but she's superficial, even for the 80s. Mm-hmm. She pursues Randa's boyfriend as she's trying to befriend Randa to be the most popular girl.
Yeah.
Which is just an odd choice. She uses her powers for bullshit reasons.
With not a care in the world.
With not a care in the world. And most importantly, when she has a falling out with her true real friend, Polly, who's, let's be honest, a queen, that never gets resolved, nor does she seem to care a lot.
No! This movie literally forgets everything that it's doing. There's no resolution with Polly.
No.
At the end, spoiler alert, Louise is like, I'm gonna undo everything I did, which includes all the good things she did for her teacher that she loves.
Oh, shit, I didn't even think about that. You just blew my mind.
He just is a total jerk. I was like, no.
Yeah, she's a jerk.
Yeah. And, like, yeah, nothing else is really resolved.
Yeah.
At all.
No, nothing is resolved.
It's like, I guess you get Brad. Cool.
And I think, too, if we were really pursuing this world that they made, the world of Teen Witch, somewhere there'd be a family mourning their missing son.
Right. Let's go to my question section right now. Because they bring it up for 1 second. Brad's like, I shouldn't have let you go home with him. He was really too much. And she was like, I just told him to disappear. Ha ha ha, question mark? Where the is he? Like, yeah. And Randa doesn't seem, it feels so weird to say the name Randa. But she doesn't seem to care, and that's her cousin.
I know.
She's just like, whatever. Granted, I'm so confused about that character.
Oh, me too. Thank you. Because he shows up at the door. Confused. So she goes on a date. when she's becoming friends with Randa, when her spell is kind of happening, she goes on a date. It's like a double date, I guess.
Yeah.
With Randa's cousin, who, surprise, surprise, is a wacky, huge nerd. We know this because of his glasses and vest.
He's also wearing a bow tie.
Oh, and a bow tie. Yeah. And he's actually really quite handsome and attractive, and then he's like such a weirdo and such a perv, and it's just like, I don't know where you're going. Like, I don't understand what I'm supposed to be watching right now. What is the angle with this?
Exactly.
Yeah.
There's like one moment in a New Girl episode, she's trying to date someone, a guy who looks like that super nerd, sweater vest, suspenders or whatever, and he's talking mean smack and blah, 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 talking about computers and blah, blah, blah. And she's just like, I don't understand what you're about. It's like, yeah, that I don't understand what you're about.
Yeah.
Super nerd, but also you're like, you want to smoke weed? And also, I also have a list of things I love, and one of them is the line he delivers. I can drive through the fog like a hog with a heart on.
I remember that line. Yeah.
Like, who is this dude?
I know.
You should fall in love with him. Well, no, he's pervy.
He's so pervy, but like, he would be so cool if not. If he wasn't pervy, he would be rad. Yeah. Also, I know he's supposed to be a nerd in 1989, but the first second I looked at him, I was like, oh, you're a try-hard hipster from 2020. Like, that is goals for people right now. That is the look.
Yeah, he had like a sweet pompadour. It was pretty good.
Yeah, no, so he would fit in this world so well.
Yeah. But yeah, no one seems to give a shit that a man literally turned into crystals and disappeared, and no one's seen him for weeks.
Yeah. And the last person to see him was Louise Miller, the teen witch.
Also, she gets whose car is that? Is that his car? Because she gets the car and then she drives and she leaves it somewhere and then gets on her bike. And it's like, what is happening?
I don't know, but no one talked about having their car abandoned. Anyway, the point is she's committed a crime.
She murdered someone, potentially?
Yeah.
Sent him into a abyss? Right. I don't know.
So strange. And it was just kind of like unresolved. I do have to say, though, one of the things that I love, and one of the most super positive things, this movie is full of like kick-ass awesome women. Like, not the characters, but the women actually in the film. Yeah. So awesome. So like, I got on this Zelda Rubinstein kick, right? She's the palm reader and witch in the movie. I don't think we can talk about her and not talk about her. Mm-hmm. She's so iconic, and for those of you, if you don't know her name, you'll know her to see her. She's the 4'3" actor with that very specific voice. You know it as soon as you hear it. Yeah. Who was kind of commandeered by the horror genre. Specifically, I guess, probably for Poltergeist, most people would know her from. Yeah.
She was also in 16 Candles for a hot second.
Yeah, 16 Candles. Yeah. Yeah, and she's done another one I liked. What was Behind the Mask, the Leslie Vernon story. That's kind of newer, I'd say, but 2006, I think it was from. The things about her like are so cool. First of all, I guess if you're familiar with her work, like there is something spiritual about her work that kind of transcends the character in the movie. Like, there's just something so comforting about her. When she says in Poltergeist, this house is clean, I feel like the house is clean. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it gets my soul. Like, there's just something, like, she captures some sort of magical energy. Yeah. You know, whether she was a magical person or that's just friggin' good acting. Like, I don't know. But anyway. But the things that I thought were really cool is she became an actor that I learned is she became an actor in her 40s. Like, she just decided to be an actor in her 40s, leaving a career as a medical lab technician. Whoa. Which is a power move. Yeah. Like, I honor anyone who has the guts to, like, pursue... Well, the guts and the spirit, I guess, really, to pursue anything that's unfamiliar that they're interested in doing. Like, dangerously unfamiliar when you're talking about acting. Because, like, you know, like, that's, like, basically 1 in a million shot, right? She did it. And I also found out that she was an activist for human rights, I guess you would say, where she advocated for people with dwarfism, and also, like, one of the earliest supporters of the HIV and AIDS movement, fighting that.
Oh, Zelda.
Yeah, she attended the first AIDS walk in LA in 1985, and she did a whole campaign where she was kind of like a mother figure to her sons, telling them to like practice safe sex in hopes of kind of like curbing the AIDS crisis, which she said in, I guess, some interviews that she knew it would kind of affect her professional career, which apparently it did to some extent, but she said it was a passion of hers, and she was just like wanted to do what she could. I mean, I was just like blown away. I didn't know any of that about her.
Aww.
Yeah. Yeah, she said, there's a quote from her from, what's this from? Oh, a New York Times article. She said, I had no idea what I would do next. This is after she quit being a lab technician. I had no idea what I would do next, but I knew it would involve advocacy for those people who were in danger of being disenfranchised. She said, I wanted a platform to be a visible person who is different, as a representative for several varieties of differences. This is the most effective way for me to carry the message saying, yes, you can. I took a look at these shoulders in the mirror, and they're pretty big. They can carry a lot of strum and drang on them, which I guess is just like turmoil and fighting for things again, like fighting against society, you know, for the better. But yeah, I just was like, man,
that's so nice.
She's so cool. Like she was so woke, like in a time when people weren't necessarily, and just like, yeah, so badass. Anyway, she passed away in 2010, but what a kick-ass woman. Anyway,
she does seem magical, though. I'm with you there. It's like, I think it's like a combination of just like her presence, but her voice too. Like she very much is like, she's a special creature for sure.
And then Cindy Valentine was in it, who played Shauna the rock star.
Oh my I forgot about that. Yeah.
Yeah. So she was played by Cindy Valentine, who actually was a rock star in the 80s. And she co-wrote and performed the 2 real songs in the movie that kind of bookend it, which was Never Gonna Be the Same Again and Finest Hour. So she was a singer as a child, and she won a contest, I guess, to record an album in Italy when she was 9.
Whoa.
Her dad said no, she couldn't go. She ran away in the night, got on a plane with her passport as a 9-year-old, and went anyway and started a recording career.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Yeah. So I was just like, that is badass. I can't even. And also
9?
The things you could do.
Oh, that me as a 9-year-old? No, different breed.
I mean, I was scared of the dark. That's not even changed, but
I was probably melting cheese in the microwave, being like, yeah! Watching The Price is Right and being content.
Right.
Oh, man. Okay.
So
Shit.
good. So good. And then the last one that I referenced that I thought was super inspirational was Mandy Ingber, who plays Polly.
Yeah.
She's become a yoga instructor and expert in LA with celebrity clientele. She's the author of Yogalosophy for Inner Strength and Yogalosophy 28 Days to the Ultimate Mind-Body Makeover. I checked out her Instagram. She's like does a lot of tips and videos and stuff for yoga. I also listened to a podcast she was on, AfterBuzz Books. It's an interview with her. She's like really cool. And yeah, she has a lot of really interesting things to say. It's definitely worth a listen. But one of the things she said that I loved was that she's into crystals and she swears by rose quartz. So I was like, yeah.
Aw.
Yeah.
That's so cool. Yeah. I think she was even like a bestseller or something. Like she's been, yeah. I also read Jennifer Aniston was one of her clients, and I was like, shit,
that's
Mandy,
impressive.
You know what you're doing then.
Yeah.
On a lesser note, there's Lisa Fuller, who plays Randa.
Yes.
And not gonna lie, I didn't look into it too far. I stopped as soon as I learned that she was Patrick's sister in the Monster Squad. I was like, that's enough! You win! So
I did not find that fact. That is awesome.
So I was like, okay, Lisa, you get a pass. I do want to talk about Joshua John Miller.
Yeah, do it.
I love him so much.
Before you get into this, I just want to say, so who you're speaking about, he plays the little brother, another 80s trope that we see, the annoying kid brother. And I can't even think of what his name was in the movie.
Richie.
Yeah. So let's talk. Let's hear.
Okay. So first of all, not only was he in this movie, but he was in Near Dark, River's Edge, the remake of Wizard of Gore, which is terrible, but it's great that he was in it. And he was in Communion. So That's
Okay.
a lot right there, you know?
He is cool, and he's like kind of goth too, I think.
I think he's just like turbo horror nerd now. Like I think he wrote some stuff and like has been like writing, producing stuff that's like I think something Final Girl I saw on his IMDb page and I was like
Oh yeah.
interesting and
He seems like somebody we would try and be friends with.
yes, exactly. Yes, totally. Especially after watching this performance. He wins the fucking movie. He's so great in it.
Yeah.
So good. And I love the trope of like the little brother was like annoying, but like they made him food obsessed and dirty for no reason. Great choices though, and he leaned into it hard.
Yeah.
He always had crap on his face.
He was like
always eating the.
decided then and there he was going to be a character actor. He's like, I'm ready.
He was like, got it. Because okay, I wrote down in the list of some of my favorite things. A lot were his lines. After Louise makes that dude disappear and she's all frantic and whatever and runs home and is like, where's mom and dad? And he's making like a 40-inch pizza in the kitchen. Just being a total gross, poking at it and dipping his fit, like eating, just being sick. What is he? He's like, you think you're so, you're hot stuff because you went to a dance. Dream on.
His voice.
No one, how he delivers it, he's like, no one wants to date you. You're a dog. A dog. How old was he when he was like, yeah, I'm gonna do this.
This is how I'm gonna deliver this line. Yeah.
Yeah, and then a room full of adults were like, yeah, I guess. And just let it happen. Also, like, the amazing line where he's like, and even he does something amazing with his face where he was like, I took the liberty of ironing your homework.
I know the look you're talking about.
Yeah. I was just like, you should get all of the awards for this performance. Like, you're so great. Holds nothing back.
You know what?
Yeah.
I really appreciate you saying that because I didn't make any notes on him except like one, I think, in passing. And you're right. That is a totally underappreciated performance.
He's the best in the movie. When I was watching it the first time and I was very confused by the, I guess, sexy dance scene on the rooftop during the credits, I saw Dick Sargent's name and I was like, wait, what? And it was Dick Sargent. He was like the dad of Bewitched. He was like the husband.
Okay, I was gonna look it up. I was like, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, but I was just like, wait, what?
Yeah.
I was like, that's awesome.
Yeah.
The other dude who plays Brad Powell. I cannot pronounce the dude's last name. Dan
Garthier? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Garthier?
The only thing I recognized him from was like he was in Son-in-Law, and I think he was like the boyfriend that was like a jerk.
I mean, he does have that look to him. Like you can see why he was typecasted. Although I gotta say, Brad, the hunky football player in Teen Witch, aside from like wanting to date the popular girl, I feel like he had the most depth out of anyone in the film.
I think he was the best character because he legitimately like seemed normal. You know, he was like, yeah, I like to date the most popular girl. But then he honestly falls for Louise and he's like, you're really cool. I like you.
Yeah, he honestly does.
Yeah, he's an honest and real. He deserves better than Louise.
He's the most authentic character in the whole movie. And he's like, they have that scene on the boat where he's like, I don't even know who my real friends are. And just like... You know, I'm just popular, so I don't know who actually likes me, and they just agree with me. And then he's the only one that observes that Louise's date may be potentially a little bit pervy, and is like, oh, we shouldn't have let you go home with him, and like felt guilty about it.
He apologized and was like, thank you for helping me, and like never once was he a wiener to anybody. He helped her get that Coca-Cola.
Oh, yeah.
But, like, I feel like shook it up a lot when giving it to her. But, like, he still helped.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe almost sort of hit her with his car, but he was nice about it and like wanted to help.
Yeah. No, he was the nicest, most authentic person, which is so funny because he's like playing this character traditionally that is definitely not. And I don't think that they were meaning for that. I think he accidentally was the most authentic character in the movie.
Except for the abandoned house sexy scenes, like the way he was leaning and stuff, I was like, oh. It was like that feeling where I was like, oh, you don't like looking at this now.
Yeah.
For sure.
You for sure don't. You for
sure
sure skip this scene when you're watching.
Yeah. While I was going through the IMDb page, I also saw that Rita Wilson is a dancer. So
What?
I was like, yeah.
Man, I gotta go back and watch this now. What?
I know. The luckiest woman in the world is one of the dancers.
That's wild.
Uh-huh.
That is wild.
And for those of you who don't know why she is the luckiest woman on the planet, is because she's married to Tom Hanks.
Yes.
Just putting that out there. I thought that was really rad. Also, Dan and Lisa, so like the people who played Brad and Randa, that name, they actually got married in 1990 and they were still together as of 2018.
That is it's kind of a beautiful love story.
Right? That's pretty cute.
Yeah. I mean for the underdogs out there, it's kind of a bummer because it's the two popular hot people end up marrying each other and living happily ever after, which isn't the story most of us want to hear unless we're that person, I guess.
Yeah, true.
But no, it is pretty sweet though. It is sweet. And I think that they met on that movie too, if I'm not mistaken.
I hope so.
Which is cute.
I hope that was the magic of Teen Witch. Louise gets over. And the girl, unfortunately named Randa, who got a Schwinn instead of a car, gets the boy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because also she seems totally fine. Like she does. That's the thing that's so confusing about this movie, is that there's no one that's overly good or bad. They're just neutral characters interacting in a sometimes musical setting. Like,
oh my gosh.
Weird.
You're so right. I think it is because, you know what? It's they're so neutral that you have to like really rely on their actions to decide who's going to be your villain. And the person who has the shittiest actions is the main character that we're following, in my opinion.
Yeah, and her mentor. They both are jerks.
They kind of are, yeah.
Yeah.
They both are jerks, yeah. I found the same thing kind of with, it's funny that, because I kind of just came to that enlightenment now, that there's no, when you said it, is there's no villains in the movie. It's just sort of a action by action basis, I guess, for the story. But I found it similar, now that you say that, to Thinner. Did you ever watch that or read that?
Thinner?
Yeah.
Oh, I feel like I watched it a long time ago.
Right. So Thinner is interesting, and I think it kind of poses a similar struggle, I guess, in that we're rooting for the character we're following, and it's not until you're kind of done the story when you're kind of like, oh wait, I think that I was rooting for the bad guy this whole time.
Yeah. Also, I love that this is, I think, like, consistent for you to bring up Stephen King in every podcast. Like, in some way, shape, or form, you get King in here, no matter what.
I know.
And you don't even plan it. It's just who you are and what you love. You just love that man.
I do.
I need to make you one of those shirts from Monster Squad. Do you remember? Like, it was like Stephen King rules.
In the yellow writing, it's almost like McDonald's-esque.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm doing that.
As I try and find real witchcraft in all these movies, whether it's there or not. So I do love trying to find the elements when I can, and I don't think any of them were intentional here, frankly, but I'm gonna pull what I did find.
Okay.
Or what I thought was cool and kind of note. So, okay, well, one of my favorite scenes is when she goes to the carnival after Madame Serena. Is it Serena or Selena?
Serena, yeah.
So Madame Serena gives her a book to kind of educate herself on how to be a witch now that she's become one. On her 16th birthday, she becomes a witch. So she gives her a book, and she goes to a carnival, and she has this spell to call the wind, and she calls the wind, and that's actually my favorite scene in the movie. It's like she makes the wind blow, and it's kind of stormy, and she gets excited, and the carnival is like closed, but she gets the ride going with her magic. I thought it was really cute and beautiful. It's honestly my favorite scene.
Yeah.
But in it, and she's reading the book, the book says magic works by stimulating the harmonies in nature and the powers in the word, which I think is all true. Like, that's true. So I don't know where they pulled that from, or like how that became a line, but I think if that's all you heard in terms of witchcraft in this movie, you wouldn't really be led astray. I think that's, pretty valid. The water undoing your spells, not so much.
I love that, though.
Yeah.
Just how, like, for whatever reason, when she turns her brother into a dog, there's, like, a bubble bath in the other room, just, like, ready to go.
Which
I was
is
like,
exactly the weirdness of this
what?
movie.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah.
And she's just like, I'm gonna put this dog that I turned my brother into a dog, and now I'm gonna go put him in a bubble bath.
Yeah, to wash him so he
Why?
doesn't. Yeah, I have no idea.
Like, she
None of
didn't know
it.
that was gonna work. I was like, are you just gonna try and drown your brother? Like, I don't. Anyway.
And the best part though is when he gets out and he's like so upset, you can just hear him yell, "Pervert!" before like the scene cuts. It's great.
He is. You know what? I'm so glad you brought that up. It really makes me appreciate his role in it. Joshua, what is it? Joshua John Miller.
I think so. Miller, which is funny because Miller is the last name in the movie.
Yeah. No, that was good. So the other kind of element of realness, or like what I'm pulling, is the magical jewelry. So we have that pendant, which I gotta say, didn't you find that shot funny when they discover the magical pendant? It was so like inserted after. It was such an afterthought. It's very Shopping Channel. It was like, oh, look at this pendant I found, and then just like a close up. Clearly not the same moment.
I was like, no. Yeah, felt the same.
Right? So, but magical amulets for ritual magic is not uncommon and not wrong. So I give them props for that one.
Okay.
And last, which I think is probably the most real, is there was actually evidence of sympathetic magic in the movie, which is sympathetic magic is like the concept of like someone magically affecting something by using something representative of that thing. So like in this movie would be like the poppet that she made of her teacher, her evil shitty garbage teacher, which by the way somebody would be fired if they ever acted.
That birth control scene,
awful, cringy and awful.
Yeah. Anyway,
so yeah, but she makes this poppet of him and starts taking off its clothes in class, and so he does too, because it's hence sympathetic magic. Like she's using a symbol of him to affect him. And it's kind of a funny scene, but it's very prominently sympathetic magic. And then, similarly, when she does go to Shauna's concert and get her jacket, although she's not affecting Shauna herself, she is being affected by the power of Shauna represented in the jacket. So I would put that in the same boat as sympathetic magic. So I did think that was kind of neat and cool. And I think it was kind of, like most things in this movie, I think it was completely unintentional.
Yeah.
But it was nice to see. It was kind of fun.
I have to say though, aside from Richie, little brother dirtbag,
right?
I think like it's so random, but like my favorite part is when the teacher falls down the stairs because Ricky like picks up the doll and carries it upstairs and like throws it behind him and does a donkey kick back.
Yeah, it got really literal with the poppet doll.
Yeah. So the teacher falls down the stairs, of course, but there's like one shot where right before he falls down, he just goes, "Oh." He just makes this little sound and he's like, "Oh," and then he falls down the stairs, and I don't know why I love it so much, but he's just like, "Whoa," and then it's like, "Whoa," gets like tossed down the stairs. And then also when he's at the car wash and he's like, he lifts his pits to get rinsed, and he also like bends over to get his butt washed.
Yeah. Meanwhile, he's wearing a suit the whole time walking through the car wash, which he does because the mom put the poppet doll into the washing machine.
Waka waka.
Yeah. Some good slapstick there, I guess.
I guess. I guess.
Did we even really talk about Top That? You know, the main scene. I know we mentioned that we've seen it. But did we really?
I think so. No.
Okay. Yeah, I don't even really know what to say about it because it's such a meme at this point. It's just like, part of the popular culture. That's what people know of the movie. I will never be hip. I just don't. The shoulder constantly being exposed. His pants are too small. Who are the other guys? You know, like, what are they doing? What are they doing? In that oral history of this scene did you see that? Did you see that little video? We can link it below. I don't think so. Yeah. They're all talking about their experience with it, and it was so funny to hear. I'm sorry. I feel so bad that I'm not saying his name. So the guy that plays Rhett, Noah Blake. Okay, so Noah Blake is talking about this scene, and he's just like, there was never a time when he or Mandy thought that this was like cool. Like they always knew it was dumb. They always knew it was embarrassing. Like they were always going to be mortified about it. That's great. So it wasn't even a thing where people were like, "Oh, this is so badass." It was like they knew it was gonna be garbage.
That's I have so many feelings about that. Noah was 24 when he recorded that scene.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he was old enough to know better.
To be self-aware about that, yeah.
Yeah, but also just side note, he was in a movie in 2012 called Piranhaconda. Two piranha anaconda hybrid creatures hunt down the scientist who stole their egg, and a film crew making a slasher film in the jungle.
That sounds actually amazing. It sounds so up my alley. I love those like shark movies and stuff. Like
Also, Michael Madsen is in it, so I'm game. I love that they knew. I love that like both of those guys knew Noah and Mandy. Yeah, I remember their names.
and she said too, she was like, I can't remember exactly word for word, but basically she said, she's like, it's okay. I justified it because I was like, you know what? It's 1980. It was 1988 when they filmed it. She was like, you know what? If it's crap, it'll go to video and no one will ever see it again.
Which is kind of almost true.
Surprise!
It was almost true.
Yeah.
Oh, whatever. I would own it at this point probably.
Oh, they do. They do. Which is makes me feel like they're so cool. Like they're like obviously so cool. They knew it was silly. They still went for it. They did a good job. Like it's
they put 110 in, knowing that it was ridiculous. Oof.
Yeah, they were good. So I give them major props for that, and I think that they're super hip.
They're so funky.
They are so funky.
So funky. Well, obviously the condom scene is a thing that didn't need to be there.
Well, that's like a lot of the choices in the movie. It's like why the best way to explain it is they chose to add a lot of things that didn't drive the plot. But as somebody who trusts in movies and is watching the movie, you're like, oh, this will be relevant later. No.
And this is the thing, they like almost got things right. Like I feel like the mom was like that very typical, like I'm gonna bring up Better Off Dead because I feel like it was maybe what they were kind of trying to do with certain things, like the mom especially, where she's just like kind of checked out, not really aware, but like super posy and happy and like yeah, but like is oblivious to the world. Like I think that's what they were trying to do with her mom.
I think so too. I do. I thought that of both the parents. I wanted to use the word as absent, but then I was like, they're not absent, really.
No.
But I know what you mean. There's definitely a lack. It's almost like they're like not complete or something. I don't know.
Yeah, they're just like cardboard cutouts. But also, like, I also made a note. The mom reminds me of a lot of the moms from Crybaby. All of that stuff is very like Crybaby, John Waters moms.
Actually, probably that'd be probably a good recommendation if you were interested in seeing what this movie could have been. Crybaby would be a good one, and also one that I kept thinking of too. That the energy is very like, and the tone and the nostalgia and just everything about it. If you take away the witchcraft and make it just a little bit better, it's Can't Buy Me Love, I think.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
That's a good call.
So watch those two movies if you liked this movie, or even if you didn't.
Watch Better Off Dead all of the time, every day, just because it's so great. But I do feel like there was a lot of 80s things that became almost like normal from Better Off Dead.
Right.
And it's John Cusack being a precious little baby, so.
Which is what he specializes in.
Yeah. Oh,
really.
God, he's so lovely in it. In this movie, I feel like they had the structure, but like didn't really know how to flesh it out. The writers were Robin Menken, and I don't think I saw anything else written by Robin. And then it was co-written by Vernon Zimmerman. It was only a couple other things that he actually wrote. The only thing that I wrote down was The Unholy Rollers from 1972, because I was like, that is just more of a reminder for me to watch The Unholy Rollers. Yeah, and the director didn't really do much. Dorian Walker.
Yeah.
I think he only had five or six. It's just like a handful of films that were directed by him. Oh, only directed 6 movies. So directed Teen Witch in 1989, and then 10 years after Teen Witch, he directed a movie called Baby Songs, ABC 1, 2, 3, Colors and Shapes.
Yeah.
And it's exactly what you think it would be. So,
yeah.
yeah, it's like I don't think there was a lot of backbone and structure to the film,
Mm-hmm.
which makes sense for a lot of the question marks we have.
I think that's kind of the genesis of this movie, though, because it was kind of half-baked anyway, in the sense that it's supposed to be a sister movie to Teen Wolf, starring Michael J. Fox. So I think even just deciding that they needed like a feminine counterpart to that was kind of set the tone for everything else. Like, it was just like, why would you do that? Make it its own thing.
Well, the fact it took 4 years for them to be like, wow, I don't think it would be real cute if she was a wolf. So it took them 4 years to be like, witchcraft? Question mark?
Yeah. Musical?
Yeah.
Question mark?
Oh, but that was the thing. Like, while watching it, I was like, this is basically Teen Wolf, right? But like for girls, for ladies,
Yeah.
right? But like not as good.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, that might be bold. Some people might really love this movie, but I think Teen Wolf is pretty great.
Teen Wolf is by far the superior film.
Yeah, okay, thanks. Yeah, I was like, yeah.
I don't know. I don't think that's really a hot take. I mean, maybe it is. Yeah, but we're on the same side. We'll fight anyone who
like,
says differently.
One of the things is like this isn't like from our childhood, so we don't feel the need to defend it as much.
No,
you know.
And I feel like such an asshole because we are such the advocates of that. We're like, watch everything when you're the right age, and now here we are. Not following our advice. I don't know how we would follow it at this point. Time travel.
I do feel bad that I didn't watch this when I was younger, because I feel like I would definitely be like more about it.
Oh yeah, sure. Me too, for sure.
I do enjoy it, but I do think like the little brother is the best. I don't know. It's just so weird. I don't know what it's supposed to be.
Well, I think that's the beauty of a lot of these movies that we do, is there's such a mishmash of genres, which is one of the reasons I think that they appeal to such a wide audience. I mean, we're looking at them because we're looking at like more mystical, nostalgia. But, a lot of the people that watch these don't really care about the mystical stuff. They're just, they love the actor, they love the love story or whatever, right? Like it just draws in so many different people, I feel like. And to me, it's not confusing to mix the genres. It's more like just fun and of the time.
Yeah, I love it. Like I love late 70s, early 80s, well, all 80s, let's be honest, and even part of the 90s, where it really was just like they were just taking what they knew worked from everything and like making something. Mm-hmm. That's why I feel like everyone needs to watch Better Off Dead, because it is so weird. There's like claymation scenes and animated scenes. It shouldn't make sense, but it makes sense.
Right.
And you're just like, what even am I watching? But you're like, I love it. John Cusack, you're precious. And it works, but you're just like, I don't know why it does, but it does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's a good point, for sure. No, I'm glad we added this to our list, because I really wanted to see what all the hype was about, honestly. Like,
I just feel so weird that, like, I'm just, yeah, I guess I watched that. Like, that legitimately is my takeaway. Glad I did, but I'm just like, yeah, I watched it.
I feel like if you don't know what this movie is before you go in, like you said at the beginning, that opening dance dream sequence kind of sets the whole tone, and you're like, oh, this is what it is. Yeah. And it's like, it's cool, it's 80s and stuff, and I do love that more than probably most eras and genres, but
yeah,
it just, I guess it's different than what I expected.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I was like expecting more of like a story and plot. Yeah, no, that sounds bad. That sounds really shitty.
Especially after last podcast where we're like, we don't care about the story and plot. Watch Suspiria.
I know, but Suspiria is a masterpiece. And then you watch this and you're like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Just things stand out more.
Yes.
I don't know.
They do.
I don't know. It is fun and it's worth a watch for sure. Like, because like top that, there's more duditude in the movie than top that. So there's a couple of scenes.
If you like top that, then definitely watch the movie, because there's a lot more rapping and there's a lot more ret than I was anticipating, and I was pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, he actually, he had multiple roles and rapping about schlongs. Yeah,
and then just like rapping in the hallway.
Yeah. High School Blues, man. High School
Oh,
Blues.
that's what it is. Yeah, the High School Blues. I mean, it's so funny too because there's like parts that reminded me of other stuff. Like I said, like there's parts in it that reminded me of Pump Up the Volume.
Yeah.
You know, just like the whole school atmosphere and I love Pump Up the Volume. So I guess like the breadcrumbs too drove me through this movie. Like there's a lot of things that I pulled that I really remembered and loved.
I'm putting Pump Up the Volume on my to be rewatched list. So,
yeah.
Thank you for that.
That is a great movie.
Slater?
Christian Slater. Yeah. He was like the king of the 80s.
He had that like look.
He was a badass. The Heathers.
Ooh. Something about guys that have like sleepy eyes or like just like squinty, weird, sleepy eyes, like that Norman Reedus dude.
Yeah.
Why do I love his face so much? It looks like he just woke up from a nap, but I'm like, hey, what's up?
Young Christian Slater, man, is the literal best. Like, yeah, just at existing everything. Watch Pump Up the Volume. Watch The Heathers.
Oh,
and that's it.
So great.
Oh, you know what I did like that I wrote in my notes? And it's so cynical, but I love it. And it's so me. When Madame Serena's talking to Louise and she says, you know, they're talking about doing this love spell and stuff and if it's good and stuff. And she says that love is just a trick, whether magic is involved or not. And I was just like, boom, true. I feel that feels so hard.
Yes. And she was like, it's all lighting and whatever. I was like, yeah.
Yeah. I was just like, oh, that's so real for a teen movie. That was like the realest thing. Just that line. We looked for this movie pretty hard. Teen Witch was not easy to get. Like, I mean, okay, it was easy to get, but it was more work than our usual stuff.
Yeah, because we didn't already have a copy of it. Yeah, it was very, and I've like read a lot where everyone's just like, this is an impossible movie to find. I don't know why, because apparently the Disney Channel played it like every week.
Yeah.
And now it's like dry, like no one can find it.
Yeah, it is. It's like, it's almost like, what's that creepypasta where like all the kids are like, oh yeah, we all watched that kids show as children, and then it turns out they were just watching Static the whole time.
Oh my god.
Candle Cove, that was it.
Oh, yeah. I had to stop watching it. It freaked me out too much.
It was a creepy one.
I really want to go back and watch it this like Halloween now, but I got like maybe 3 episodes in. It didn't help that my boyfriend fell asleep and it was at night, and like I get a little paranoid and weird. I was like locking all the doors over and over, and then I was like, ugh.
I know what you mean. Like, here's like, that's what I like being this person, and I also hate being this person. I was just like, okay, you hear a noise at night and you're like, okay, well, it could be somebody breaking in, but more likely it's a woman who's crawling on my ceiling. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's where my thought is.
I always go to the like most outrageous, terrifying, and ridiculous option. Always.
Yeah, same.
Yeah. Like I don't really know why, because I feel like it's been happening my like whole life. It's not like because I watch certain movies or like
same
a thing happened. Like I've always been like, oh, aliens. When it's like, oh no, just like a car drove by. All right. You know, but like I always go to like 11 immediately.
Me too.
And then it's like, oh no, it's the neighbor's dog pooping. Oh, okay.
No, I totally understand. I got on my phone. It's called like Ghost Talk or something. It's an app that's supposed to remove the need for all that expensive ghost hunting equipment and just be the app you use to talk to ghosts. And I was telling I think it might have even been my brother and his girlfriend. I can't really remember, but I was very excited and I was telling someone about it.
Yeah.
I was like,
so into this.
I'm so ready. I'm so excited to start talking to these ghosts. I'm ready to use this. And they're like, it's probably not real. Didn't occur to me once. I'm the asshole going around being like, it's eliminating all the expensive technology you need to speak to the dead.
I love you so much. That's so great. You're just so pure. You're just so golden. Oh my god. Have you tried it?
Yeah, it hasn't worked yet.
Sorry.
It's just a bunch of me being like, hello. Is anyone there?
I hope I hope that whoever made that app is just like keeping all of the things that people say. Just like have a library of people being like, oh, what is it? Oh, I got a piece. Just like, I hope. That'd be amazing. But I also want it to work. I want it to work.
Yeah, right?
Oh my god. I'd be too creeped out to do that, man. Like, if that worked, no thanks.
I know.
Because I don't leave my house, so I'd obviously have to do it in my house. So if somebody
Right.
was like, what's up? I'd be like, ah!
I know.
Burn it down. I don't know. I don't know about that. I did see, I'm going to be honest, I did see a ghost in the, like, basement, actually, the room that I'm in right now. Like,
Right.
when my sister lived here,
Right.
I did see a ghost, and it was weird.
Like, who was it? Like, not like Jeremy
It
from
was,
next door, but like...
No, it was like an old man,
Okay.
because the laundry is down here. So I was like cleaning our house and stuff, and I put some laundry on. So I had to like kind of go around a wall. And it was right when the basement was getting finished. Mm-hmm. And I remember like looking up and seeing like an old man, and he had like a brown sweater vest and a yellow shirt on. And I was like,
Really?
oh. And I like moved the clothes, and then when I looked back, he wasn't there anymore, and I just, like, immediately was like, I'm getting the out of here. And I texted her, and I was like, so, is there, like, a man in your basement? Like, a spirit of an old man? And she was like, oh, yeah, that's the guy that lived here, and whenever he's just checking in, seeing what you're up to. I was like, cool.
That you're not painting any wacky colors on his walls.
Yeah, well, it's like because she was finishing the basement, so she was like, he's just around. He's like confused that all of this stuff is happening. It was like he's just like checking in and seeing what's what. Mm-hmm. If anyone doesn't believe in ghosts, then don't talk to me about it. I find it so annoying when people are like, ghosts aren't real. And I was like, oh, well, this is a great conversation. Anyway, like, bye.
Here's the thing. Like, I believe in that stuff myself. And I have a lot of, like, spiritual and magical leanings, as you know, given my work and all that. But like, I just feel like you're shutting down the potential to like hear something interesting or get to know somebody cool or something when you're just like, and you're never gonna like they're gonna say to you, ghosts aren't real, and you're gonna be like, oh shit,
oh, well,
okay,
thanks.
Want to get coffee? Like, do you know what I mean? You know, some people have the belief, some don't. You know, it is what it is. Some people are more in tune, like you say, like your sister and stuff like that too, which is cool. I don't really have any like visual experiences like that. I'd say the closest thing was when I was a little kid. I was probably like, I'm gonna say, I don't think my brother was born. Yes, he was born, but he was just a baby, so I must have been like 5. My grandmother had recently died, and my dad and my mom were in the car with me, and I was in the back, and they were having a conversation, and they've told me this story. I obviously don't remember it, but they were having a grown-up conversation. Obviously they're grown-ups and whatever, and I interjected and said, I don't know, I said something that was particularly insightful about the conversation, and they were like,
what?
Why did you say that? Or where did you hear that? And I said, Nanny told me. And they're like, when did she tell you? And I was like, just now. So I thought that was kind of cool, because I do think that we had kind of a connection. And so I think that if she did want to take part in a conversation my parents were having, it would have been through me. So that was kind of interesting. And I really, I appreciate that. I appreciate having that story.
That's really cool.
Yeah. Yeah. But I'm with you on the thing. It's like, if you don't fight somebody on that, just, you know, have your difference. Yeah. So I feel like we honestly, like, it sucks because I feel like we both went into this movie with like an open heart. And we're like, kind of shit on the movie.
That's like, I do feel bad, but like I
know, it just wasn't it wasn't what I was hoping it would be, but I'm not disappointed with what I got. Maybe just the fact that they didn't make up at the end. I thought that was weird, but
yeah, there was just a lot of stuff. It just like ended. It was just like
ran out of time.
She got picked up at a dance and Brad kissed her face. So there you go.
Yeah. But
that guy's still missing.
the guy is still missing.
Like, okay. Okay, so overall, I don't know. It's not like a huge win for me.
No,
You know?
same. I think that the way of watching this, do it with friends,
Exactly.
while social distancing or after the pandemic.
Yes, exactly.
Have some drinks, like rock out to the cheesy music. Like I think that that's the best way this movie works.
Yes, very much. Like this is definitely something that we would watch together and eat pizza and just be like, "Oh my God, what is even happening?" And like
Right?
it would be great. But
100%.
like by myself.
Yeah, same. Like it was just like, no, we didn't experience that. I watched it on a portable DVD player that I bought specifically to watch it in my room alone.
Right? Like,
as a 34-year-old woman, it's fine.
Choices. Oh. But yeah, it was fun, and I definitely understand if people watched this when they were younger and they love it and like will defend it to the end. I get it. I totally understand that.
Oh my gosh. And also too, if anyone's listening to this that did experience that and had watched it when they were younger and it did impact them, please explain like the parts that did or why you love it and all that. Not that I need it broken down for me, but I'd like to experience this with somebody who experienced it in their youth, you know?
Yeah. Or has like a very special scene or something that means something to them, or like that resonates in some way, because to me it literally is just like it hit the wall and is falling down, and I'm like, cool, yeah, I guess top that. Like nothing is sticking, you know? Like yeah. So
well, I do know one thing, which is our Halloween episode is coming up next. And that was something that we are extremely, extremely knowledgeable at and excited for and grew up with. Yeah, I'm so ready for that.
It's a movie like I legitimately watch all year round. Like it's one of those ones that like I watch every 3 months.
Oh, yes. Yes.
So yeah, I'm ready to talk about it.
Yeah, I'm ready for Halloween season, although Halloween is probably canceled. Who knows?
Oh, that hurts my heart to hear said out loud.
I know. It's pretty crushing.
I mean, it makes sense and it's the smart thing to do, but also like bummer.
Yeah, like what is this world? Anyway, yeah. So yeah, stay tuned for the Samhain Halloween episode. We're very, very, very stoked on that. For those of you listening, thank you so much for having another slumber party with us. I don't know why no one could see me, but I just like lifted my eyebrows really weird fast.
Also, I find it like amazing that anyone even clicks on this. Like that sounds so shitty. I'm sorry, you do so much work. But I'm just like, what? I like looked and it was like anything more than 5 views. I'm like, wow.
No, me too. I love it.
Okay.
I want to hang out with them. I like wish that this slumber party, like I feel like we are hanging out with you, by the way, if you're listening to this. Like I do when we see that people have watched this, it feels good, first of all, because it is some work. But it's so fun, and it does seem like a slumber party a little bit, and I like it.
Yeah, I feel like next time I'm gonna have to have all of the snacks and pizza and everything.
I was thinking that too. Like we need to grab some pizza. Yeah, do the pizza thing. Yeah, no, it's
chug so much Dr. Pepper. Get,
right?
Like,
take it
So
back.
twitchy.
That's what it's about. Like bringing the slumber party energy. Like get your Ouija boards, get your friggin' tarot cards, get your pizza, get your candles, get your sleeping bags. Make sure your parents know where you are.
God. That's so cute. Get your Luigi boards.
Get your Luigi boards.
I want this to be a reality now, though, like slumber parties, but
yeah. Well, you know what? If we ever make it back to the regular side of things, where it's not illegal to hang out with people, we should we should have one of all of these. We should invite everyone and have a real.
Oh my God! Imagine if we did like screenings in the park or something, like actual.
Oh, that's such a great idea.
That'd be so great. But they'd be like, "No, you can't play Suspiria in a public place." It was like, what is your damage, Heather?
We'll figure out a way. Let's just say if we ever are allowed to hang out legally with others in the future in some way, we'll make it a goal that we'll integrate some sort of slumber party into real life. I don't know how we'll do that because we're both not very social, but like we'll figure it out.
And we'll set it up for everyone else, like all of you guys to show up, and then we'll just like be in the kitchen.
And we're like so scared. It's like we really want you to talk to us, but we're also so scared we're just gonna be hiding in the back.
Yeah, we'll just like leave bottles of water out for you.
But in the meantime, like, you know, you can reach us here in the comments or like touch base with like Ray's available on her Instagram. I guess people can message you there too if they want. Mm-hmm. And we have Calling Corner's Instagram. So yeah, get at us.
Also, like, if you have any ideas of movies that we should talk about or see.
Oh yeah, if there's certain movies you want us to talk about that fit into what we're doing, definitely let us know. Let us know what pizza you're eating, what drinks you're drinking, what soda.
I got so excited about the pizza. I'm hungry.
Oh man, totally. But otherwise, I think we're gonna get out of here for this episode, and we'll see you at the next slumber party.
Oh, I want to yell is Top Fat so bad.
Do it.
I don't know. I can't. I'm not funky enough. I can't.
You know what? I believe you are that funky.